everyone, welcome back to my channel. It's Christy here doing the extended monthly forecast reading for March 2018. This is for Taurus, Sun, Moon, and Rising. So this is a general reading for your sign. Whatever is most helpful, please take and use to your advantage, and whatever isn't, just leave behind. We're going to be doing the traditional Celtic spread for you today, or Celtic cross 10-card reading. I'm going to be using my tarot cards. Yay, I have tarot that I really enjoy using. And we're going to be adding a little romance reading for you as well. So love, romance, general readings. And as always, drawing from the other decks for additional messages for your sign this month. So I will be shuffling to get your cards out, Taurus. If you don't enjoy the shuffling, feel free to scroll ahead when you see the cards laid out on the scroll bar, and your reading begins then. But if you enjoy the shuffling like I do, stick around. Let's get out your cards. What does Taurus need to know for March 2018? What does Taurus need to know for March 2018? So I've sort of learned my lesson the hard way with regard to videotaping. I just learned that the camera shuts off at 30 minutes. So I am probably going to pull from the center of the deck if we run into about 3 minutes of shuffling, just because I don't want to chew up the entire reading with shuffling. So let's do that. Let's see how much shuffling we can get with your cards jumping out, and then continue on from pulling from the deck. And of course, I will make sure I'm guided before I do that. What does Taurus need to know for March 2018? I think this is where I got myself into a little bit of trouble with my Aries reading. I shuffled for probably the first 6 minutes. And then, unfortunately, it just chewed up some of the reading. So, but it is my intention to get as many jumpers as possible here. Taurus needs to know for March 2018. All right, let's get the following cards out for you. All right, Taurus, so at the bottom of the deck is 3 of water. This is the general energy for your reading this month. And we're really looking at sort of an emotional or peer group celebration. There could be something that's essentially feels very positive for you at an emotional level, okay, at the feelings level. It could be a little mini celebration that you have within that no one knows about, or it could be that you're celebrating with at least one other person here. The traditional tarot of the 3 of Cups usually has a couple people, at least 3 people celebrating together. So no matter what this brings about in terms of helpful energy or advice for you, this is really under the auspices of a celebration from an emotional or feelings perspective here. And just right off the bat, I'm going to identify that you have several major arcana cards here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 out of 10. So half of your reading is major arcana. And basically what this means is that this is really just intense, undeniable energy. It very rarely is going to identify a person. It's all about an energy or an ideology or a concept that you can use to your advantage. The King of Cups here and the Page of Earth, for example, could very well be people, as in individuals in your life. So I'll be reading these as energy or people. So let's get into it. In the card representing you is the Fool. I hope you can see the glorious artwork on this card. And the Fool is really sort of the beginning of an adventure. It's the very first card of the entire tarot. And it's the beginning, the absolute beginning of something. And it's also the innocence of beginning something, which by and large will protect you. Even if someone on the outside right now, or if there's this nagging voice coming from somewhere that's saying, for example, you know, you should be scared, or you should be aware, or maybe you should wait, or, you know, anything that is creating, and I mean creating as though they don't already exist, boundaries or worries, etc., is what you're going to, or is what you're asked here to completely let go of. It's almost like when Martin Luther King, you know, stated, you don't have to know what's at the end of the journey or what's on the other side of the staircase, or, you know, you make a step, you just take that first step, and then you trust the next step is going to be there, etc., etc., and that will lead you in the right direction. It could be, if you are a spiritual bent here, for example, that you are being asked to, or in a comfortable position here, Taurus, this month, to call upon divine help, divine protection, in order for you to move forward in an unworried or in an unbothered way here. This is just a glorious card to have, especially this represents you, right? This is your attitude, your feelings, your sense of the world and reality right now. And again, as a general reading, could be love, travel, business, spiritual matters, health matters, etc. So however this is applying to you, this is really about saying, you know what, I'm going to dive in, and I'm just going with the best of intentions, and I'm just going to let it all be. And I feel really good about it. So maybe instead of being worried about anything that you're beginning now or anything that's starting now, let excitement take its place and be excited about it and have fun being the novice. Here with King of Water, this is the situation. This is the King of Cups. This is mastery over emotions and feelings, right? So as I mentioned, this could be a person. This could be a man or a woman over 30, so an older person right now who's providing you with a great deal of emotional strength right now, okay? This could be another person. However, because this is major arcana and because this is an energy that's over that, this could be you. You feel very, particularly if you're over 30 or if you're an old soul, you feel very well equipped from an emotional and feeling and you know, just a self-awareness, a sense of self here, that there's an extraordinary emotional development here, an extraordinary emotional development. And this could be also what's leading you to being able to take this leap, to be the person who is able to take a chance by virtue of knowing what you want, knowing what you don't want. That's half the battle too, right? Knowing what we want, knowing what we don't want. It's really having experience in this realm, or it's being provided with direction, or you know, the gift of what's seeing the future, of, you know, sensing how things are going to work out for yourself and just trusting here. So and also when we're dealing with feelings, or cups, as it were, or water. This is about the intuition as opposed to the intellect, which is swords or airs. So this is really trusting your intuition, going with your intuition, knowing you're protected here. You're going in the right direction for you. And again, combating any sense of worry with a sense of excitement. So we do have as your foundation the Four of Wands, or the Four of Rods. This is really delightful. This is a happy home, right? The foundation of this is saying, I probably have everything. Like, everything is as good as it's going to get right now. And of course, wands or fire is all about our action, intention, energy, right? How we express our energy as opposed to our emotions. But this is how settled and secure and safe you feel right now, and possibly even excited right now with regard to a new venture or a new theme in your life, is saying, you know, from a foundational perspective is, I'm really content. I'm really content in moving in this direction, or I feel like I can better this situation, which is already pretty fantastic. Here in your recent past, we have the Lovers card. This is just glorious to see for you. I mean, again, lovers, of course, can mean romance, but it can also mean a love that you have for yourself, for a non-sensual partner, or for an animal in your life. Anytime we're looking at love or romance, for example, we could be looking at, of course, those other areas. However, the Lovers is unique in that it speaks to connections. So I'm going to suggest that this does have to do with a connection with a romantic or potentially romantic partner, or someone that you'd like to be romantic with. Of course, we have the sign of Leo. There could be another Taurus involved here too, or this could be something having to do with Leo in your chart. You could have Leo within the first 5 planets of your chart, or in your Lilith. Particularly because this is your recent past. I always read anything in your recent past position that could be from a former reincarnation as well. So just for the heck of it, if you don't have any Leo in your chart, for example, or if you're not dealing with a Leo, check if your Lilith is in Leo. And this could be about a past concern here and about developing an appreciation for the world of lovers and being a love partner in this context for the month of March 2018. But just a really glorious card to see here. Lovers also speaks to having to make a decision, having to make your mind up about something. So your recent past was really just saying, you understand where you are and where you want to go, where you want to head, what venture or concern or person is at the end of the path that you're on. And it does have to do with a decision that you've made here, or that you've been forced to make, but probably that you've been committed to making here, that you've made a decision, and now you can move forward in a very positive way, feeling very positive about moving forward here. Just because we have the Lovers, it's actually a really beautiful card to have. There could have been some conflict here as well, but a decision has been made around it, and the conflict has come to an end. Here with your short-term outlook, transformation. Now this is the, in the traditional tarot, this is the Death card. And again, we're looking at energy, not necessarily physical of manifestation. So there really is a death to an old, right? Something that wasn't working. A short-term outlook, again, this isn't what's going to occur, but the outlook that you had doesn't work anymore. And your short-term outlook is saying, I'm going to get rid of what doesn't work for me anymore. It's really part and parcel of being the fool. It's being the novice. It's being the person right now who's willing to take a chance or willing to take a leap of faith, okay? And putting to rest everything that wasn't working for you or didn't work for you. And again, probably a frame of mind or a concept or a belief system as opposed to a person or things here. Here with Page of Earth, really anything regarding pages is the the beginning of something. It's not the pure energy of something like the ace of the element would be, but the page is really, the call to something. So, and of course, Earth is Pentacles. So we have the call to something in the physical world. Maybe there could be a youth here. As I mentioned, both the King and the Page could actually be individuals. So there could be a very young person here who is an earth sign, who does have earthy elements to them, or has earth in their first 5 planets. So that could be another Taurian, a Virgo, or a Capricorn here, or someone with this type of youthful energy who is bringing something to the equation in a practical sense, right? So not emotional or not just intellectual, but in a very practical sense here. Or it could be that you have, as an energy, that you have found something to be very practical to you, that is new, that is going to help develop into something else in a practical sense for you here. So it's exciting all the same. Anytime we're looking at aces or pages, we're looking at a sense of, discovering something. And as I said, the page is really just sort of an offer. It's saying, here's an offer of something you may not have anticipated here that's going to help you in a very practical way. And it's something that you can decide to continue and grow on, or to grow with, or you can decide at a later time that you don't need. But this is always really just a way of saying, like, here's a little gift. Here's something to make the road or the path a little bit easier for you here, in a practical sense, in the material world, the five senses, so to speak here. So that's lovely to see for you. Here in your, I just want to be clear here that this was the short-term outlook. This was the present state of the problem. Okay, I might have misread that position. So sorry. So the page of Earth would be the present state of the problem. I'm not sure how I just read that. Sorry about that, folks. Present state of the problem could be the solution as well, right? As one of my besties always says, this problem is the solution. It could be that what is being provided to you here may feel like it's not enough. Again, this is the beginning of something. This is a small start to something, and you might have, your expectations might have been massive or unrealistic in some sense here with the Fool, right? So, and even though you would have been prepared here emotionally, it would be like this saying, it's a little bit of a speed bump in a sense. If there is a problem at all, is that there is just a little bit of a speed bump or a slowdown or a slight concern or mishap here in a practical sense, in a practical way. But again, this is something that can be easily overcome just because it's small, it's youthful. And again, as it's not the ace, it's not the entirety of the energy. It's just sort of like a taste of it, right? So nothing overly concerned here. I'm sorry for not reading that in its correct position, but that is the position it's in. So if there is a problem, it's a very, very tiny one, and it's something that can easily be overcome. Continuing with outside influences. This is just indecision, maybe having too much distraction. Seven of Cups also speaks to confusion. Again, anytime we're dealing with cups, we're dealing with emotions or feelings. So maybe there's just something that's being presented to you in a practical sense here that's sort of upending what you already knew, or maybe providing new information or elements that lead to distraction or lead you to wonder if you're going the right direction, etc. But again, being outside influences, this is something that's easily compatible because it's external to you. You have the strength within, right? To figure something out, and you don't need to be distracted if you stay on your original path, if you stay true to your goals, and if stability here and a happy and stable home life is still what you really desire here, I wouldn't venture too far away from your own goals or even perceptions or intuition at this time, okay? To try not to get distracted by other people's worries, concerns, or their goals. They can have theirs and you can have yours, and you can be sympathetic and kind and turn that conversation off when that's over, and then get back to what you need to do and what you need to conquer or achieve here. Here with your internal influences, the Hanged Man. So they're actually quite similar in many ways. It's just, this is the external, which is saying that there's some distraction or intrusion, maybe a little bit of indecision here. feeling chaotic, right? Feelings, but really not being chaotic. Maybe don't let that get out of control or take on a life of its own. The Hangman is internal. Really, this is just saying that you feel internally conflicted. You feel internally stuck. Maybe right now in March with regard to this overall issue, until we get to maybe the end of the month, Taurus, we're just going to rest right now on making any definitive decisions, just because near the end of the month we have something that is looking like an action here that you want to take, and then the final judgment. So if you're feeling internally conflicted here on something, just remember where you started, remember what you already have, work from a place of gratitude and grace, and this is really just coming up as distraction or intrusion, or maybe overthinking so that you're interpreting something in a broad or massive sense that isn't helpful in the long run, right? Because you already know what the path is and you're protected and you already know how you feel about it, but it's almost like other things are sort of getting in the way, other things are sort of making themselves available. It could even be other people, as I mentioned, it could be another person, but by and large, it's another energy or entity here. And with this being in your external, this is just, internal here, this is really just saying that you have to be prepared to be your own best friend and watch that you're not your own worst enemy during this month. Particularly if you're on the path to betterment here, health, love, romance, jobs, whatever it is in a general sense for you. Don't let yourself be dragged down by past energies, processes, or even mistakes or errors or whatever. You want to let all that go, move forward confidently here, because we do have the Six of Rods, and this is really just success, right? This is the Six of Wands in traditional tarot. This is victory, essentially. This is it could feel like a small victory right now to you, but considering what you are about to overcome here with regard to distraction or elements of doubt or anything like that, there's a sense of, yes, I can get through this. I am victorious. I do have the answers. I do know what's best for me. And my feelings and my intuition are on target. I can move ahead confidently, even in the face of distraction or doubt, which is just beautiful to see for you. This is self-actualization. This is just really understanding what makes you tick, how you solve problems, and then by virtue of doing that, you create the habit of knowing you can trust yourself and rely on yourself. So just beautiful growth here for you. And then, of course, this was in your hopes and fears. So, of course, you want that success, you want that beautiful outcome, and you're working toward it here. You just want to get away from any distraction or doubt. And your long-term outcome for the month is judgment. This is having the correct judgment, knowing what to turn off and what in terms of thoughts and feelings and belief systems, and knowing that you can do it, and your doubts are really just thoughts and they really don't deserve any attention. What deserves attention is your hope for victory and success. Okay, and believing in the best for yourself and others. And of course, the judgment call is really just saying, yes, you have what it takes to make the right judgment call for yourself. You know what is best for you. And you answer to yourself and to your source, right? Your source being God or Spirit or Yahweh or whoever you consider source. Gaia could be any one of those. So in the interest of time here, we do have a 30-minute maximum. So I'm going to get into your romance reading. We're going to get 5 cards for you here. And of course, the question for your romance is an advice. So we're going to get into some short advice cards here. What does Taurus need to know in terms of advice for, where are you, little buddy? For the month of March 2018. We're looking for advice cards for Taurus. Sun, Moon, Rising for March 2018. Some advice cards for romance. Thank you. And then we just need 2 other little cardsy poos. I'm going to take that one because it was sticking out. And we just need one more. Thank you. So those came out together. I'm going to take the first one I saw there. And these little guys can go back. All right, so let's do these in order. Do I have 5? No, I don't. Sorry, folks. Let's get one more for you. Taurus Romance 2018 in March. This guy. Brilliant. Nice. So in the first position, this is as you are, codependency. Addictions are affecting your romantic life. Could be drugs, could be the internet, could be shopping, could be work. It could be even just feeling as though you have to be in a relationship. Just look for issues regarding codependency this month. There is a way around this. It's about getting to the core of yourself, your soul, maybe getting away from someone's negative intentions or distractions here. Are you on the correct path? Well, the situation involves a wedding. Another way to read this, of course, is that there is a commitment, okay? And I want to make clear for anyone who isn't in a relationship or seeking or dating and is in the creative realm or in the realm of the esoteric arts, that this can be applied to your creative ventures, okay? You want to be sure that there's nothing getting in the way of your arts. Make sure that you're committed to your art or partner. Here with unrequited love, I'm going to show you up close, is the main obstacle, unrequited love. There's not enough attraction or chemistry to keep this relation going. If you are in a partnership, you're going to want to put yourself first. Honestly, don't do anything because your partner wants you to do it. Do any changes or significant growth in your own life because you want to do it for yourself. You want to grow as a person, and you'll automatically become more attracted to the right partner for you. If this is a creative venture for you, just be sure here that you're doing something that is from the heart. If it's not, let it go. We have very soon in your what is helping you. Clearly decide what you want so it comes to you now. Well, really, right? No more with the distraction or the doubt. Clearly decide. Your hope is that you come out victorious and you make the final judgment call here. And how is progress to be made? Honeymoon. Enjoy the bliss of holiday time together. So this is really just saying you need to get away. If the other person is invested in you and interested in your positive health and outcomes, that they're allowed to be around. They're allowed to stick around and be enjoyed by you and benefit from you. And of course, if this is an art venture, this is about maybe just putting things down for a little while and coming to terms with what your heart really is invested in with regard to your creative venture. We have soulmates for one of your additional message cards. You are probably dealing with a soulmate or seeking a soulmate, or feel as though you have a soulmate, whether or not they're currently in your life. You do feel protected, though, either way, and soulmates can be a friend or a non-human animal. But if this is a romantic person and you can identify this, Taurus, that this person is available to you, it could be that you just need to have ongoing discussions with them in order to be respected and get what you need out of the relationship. This is your second judgment card. Trust is equivalent to the judgment in the traditional tarot, and yeah, you're looking to make an actual decision. So you have like three decision cards here. Major arcana, a major decision needs to be made. Something needs to be put to rest or put to bed permanently here in order for you to move on confidently. Whether it's with a creative project, a love affair, job, travel, your own health, or a romantic relationship. And let's just get one more, thank you, little card for you. And this is your final clue card. This is camouflage. So, do what you need to do this month to protect yourself, to get ahead. You don't want to lie to anyone here, but you do want to make sure that people know that you have your own definitive goals and direction and your own needs and desires, and that this is important for you to continue because you have a lot to offer, and therefore you have a lot to discover about yourself or your goals and concerns or your loved ones. So This is just as important. Don't let codependency or any type of addiction bring you down. There is a way out of everything. Where there is a will, there's a way. But protect yourself here. Make sure that you're being fun. The camouflage is fun, maybe even a little flirty, playful. And this isn't about keeping secrets necessarily, okay? But it is about protecting yourself, telling people what they need to know. Make it a need-to-know basis. So that is your reading for the month. I really hope that you enjoyed it. Thanks so much. I will see you next time. Bye for now.